Welcome to Mars Radio. I am sitting down here with our next guest. He goes by the name of Mr. Picasso. He's a barber, he's a promoter, he's a business owner, he owns a sneaker store, a couple of other things. Mr. Picasso, thank you for stopping in with Mars Radio.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
All right, let the people know a little bit about yourself. Like I said, you do various things. Give us a brief summary of who you are and what you do.
Well, I call myself Mr. Picasso, but my name is Cameron. I'm originally from Oakland, California. I moved out to the Valley about 10 years ago. I've been out here ever since. I go back and forth, and this is my second home for right now. I got a couple businesses. The barber scene is my scene. By trade, and that's my career and profession. And I do other things, as far as club promotions, events, community events, basketball events, coach basketball, and things of that nature. I'm just a community guy.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you once again for being here. We're going to start from the beginning. Like you said, you're from Oakland, California, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what part of Oakland did you grow up?
Shit, I grew up on all sides of Oakland. I spent a lot
Except
of.
for the South, right?
What's that?
You didn't grow up in the South, though, right?
I never heard of it,
Right,
man.
exactly.
This dude trying to be funny. But yeah, from beginning, I was, raised a lot of my life in West Oakland. Uh, Spent a lot of time living in East Oakland during my teenage years, going to high school out there. And, I did a lot of hanging out and stuff in the streets in North Oakland. So I'm pretty well versed on all sides, man.
Okay, and then I've been a couple places with you, and a couple of these famous rappers from Oakland know exactly who you are. So you hung out probably growing up. You grew up with a couple of them, right?
Yeah, growing up with them is, they famous to the general population, but your friend when they standing next to you.
That's
So
what's up. That's what's up.
that's
Okay, so you said that you grew up moving around and stuff. I understand that you were heavy into basketball, correct?
correct.
Okay, and how old were you when you started getting good at basketball and thinking this is something that I could pursue?
As soon as I came out the womb, I was good at all sports.
So you came out and then you double dribbled, and you knew
Facts.
you had to practice
Right,
before
right,
you.
right, 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 right.
Okay.
Yeah, but through my teenage years of growing up in Oakland and learning a lot of things in the streets. I mean, sports was probably one of the first natures of get you out of the hood. So therefore, you gravitated a lot to, sports that you love and you craft those sports. So for me, early with baseball, I was great at baseball, and then in my middle teenage years, basketball became a bigger part of who I was and where I was trying to go.
Did you get any good?
Yeah, I got really good. I went to a great high school, which would be the Fremont Tigers, and watched a couple state championships, played in a couple big games, and did some great things.
What's your most memorable basketball moment before you were a complete adult?
Most memorable basketball moment would be just hitting some clutch free throws in a big game.
Okay,
Uh,
cool. Like, line us up. Let us know the situation. I know
we
you
were
remember
I
it.
was playing against I think it was Crenshaw. It might have been Crenshaw at the time. I think we was playing Crenshaw, and I've never been to SoCal, and
Oh, you were there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
were there, and that's a dangerous place to play. Like
Right.
the element of their gym, and it's just like it felt like home, and being around all those people, and they just want you to fail. You just hit that game winning one, and then and everybody's just quiet.
Hmm.
That's my most memorable moment. That's mine. You share other memorable
Right.
moments with teammates and stuff like
Sounds good. Well, congratulations on hitting them free throws.
that.
And so you went to school. You were good at basketball. How come you didn't pursue college, or did you?
I didn't pursue college at that time because that college wasn't a part of the inner city lifestyle. More a part of the inner city lifestyle was, being in the streets,
So you got
selling
caught up
weed.
in the streets.
Yeah, selling weed, selling dope. You running around with your friends.
So did you
Just.
do any time or get arrested or anything like that?
I've done a lot of time.
Okay.
I lost a lot of my youth that I can't get back. Lost
Is
a
it
lot
safe
of.
to say that getting caught up in the streets and losing some of that time behind them bars had a hand in not going to college and taking basketball to the next level?
Yes.
Yeah. So what
Some.
would you say to the youth that are interested in basketball, but the streets are around and can influence anybody? So you would say stay out of the streets and focus on basketball.
Well, I wouldn't say stay out of the streets because I mean the streets is a part of them. I mean, if you're in that environment, there's no way to stay out of the streets. You have to adapt. I would say survive that situation until you can get out of there and then don't go back.
That's well said. That's well said. Because if you don't have a solution for somebody, you can't really tell them not to be a part of it.
Right.
So I get that.
Activity.
So would you say that having kids is what pretty much opened your eyes to another lifestyle other than the streets?
Having kids slowed me down enough to see that I was living wrong. You come from that fast-paced area, and everything is just a go. Everything is just always on the move till you want to be a father in that aspect of life. You know, when you actually see your child, things go through your mind like, am I gonna be around? You know, so I start asking myself those questions. How can I stay around?
Right.
You know, so and then everything just evolved from there. I've been having a pretty great time with my kids since then.
Good for that. Good for that. So how does a young Cam make the transition into the barbering world? Because your first love was basketball. That didn't work out. What stopped you ultimately? Was it injury or something like that?
No, just what stopped me from going, professional with basketball was me.
Yes, yes.
My commitment level. Once I, you know, got out of the streets and stuff, um, consistency, work ethic, uh, all of those things wasn't a total package to evolve me to get to where I was. But if I was that young guy and I stayed with that and rose above all the things that were going on around me, friends, trouble, weed, this, and that, and I held on to that consistency and work ethic, then yeah, I could have got to that level. So basically, it was me.
So you kind of got in your own way.
Right.
Okay. So the basketball thing didn't work out. What is the next step for Cam as far as his career choice? What makes him want to step into the barber game?
Um, I used to have this barber named Bob when I was a young kid back in Cyprus, and he used to take paper food stamps for payments. And he used to give you the sauciest haircuts, man. I mean, shout out to Bob, man. And he used to cut your hair for $5 in cash or $10 in food stamps. You know, however you can work it out. And he was always saucy. Everybody always loved him. And
This was in Oakland.
yeah, this was in Oakland as a child, and I just ever since then, I think that's when it was there for me to look at and have an example of. So what made me want to become a barber was those little things like that. I could look back and see that barbers were well respected. They were, funny guys. They were everything that was a barber that underlined the barber to me made me become a barber.
Okay, so you were just impressed by the career
Exactly.
and the life.
Right, right. And they get their cash right then. It was the same as me standing on a corner
Right.
getting my cash right then, But what this is more for sure and is that the health benefits and the time benefits are extremely good for you.
And it's a lot safer.
A lot safer.
A lot safer. Okay. So you get into the barber game, right? Tell me something that the young barber or the young barber mentality had to learn. So what did you have to learn as a young barber that allowed you to have the longevity you've had in it?
Work ethic.
Work ethic.
I think I was around some guys that had a work ethic. He's a well-known barber in Modesto, and Ernesto, he's a well-known barber, and those two guys, along with Vic, took me under their wing, and they taught me a lot about consistency and how to run up a check, cutting hair.
So you had mentors to help you guide you through, but ultimately, I think I would agree with you that it's your work ethic that will take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's a couple things that you love about being a barber?
I mean, you want a couple? I love number one the people. I love the social at number one. I always get to talk to somebody They always get to talk to me, very helpful in advice and things like that. And sometimes I need advice, and then you meet a lot of different people that come from different career backgrounds: doctors, lawyers, janitors. I mean, you pretty much give a service to everyone. Number two, I would have to say I like make people look good. I like to see my art on other people or their idea, and then I put that idea into what they're actually going to wear around. And other people see that, and then they ask them who cut their hair.
So, have you ever noticed that, let's say you're at a basketball game or a concert or even out on dinner, that you look at people's hair and inside your mind you're thinking how you could have did it?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do that all the
That's
time.
just a barber thing. You know?
Well, I mean, when you be, been a barber for so long now, and when people walk past you, like, man,
Yeah, that line's crooked.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you become the super critiquer.
Or you'd be like, I mean, kind of high on that taper, don't you
Yeah,
think? I guess.
yeah, but I mean, there's so much new stuff going around. I can't tell a hairpiece from a good haircut or a magicianry from I can't tell no more.
So,
So
what's your view on enhancements? Are you with them or are you against them?
well, I'm with them if they're needed. I think if you have a quick date and you're going on that date, you should get enhanced if you're gonna use that, and then you let that person know the next day that that wasn't your real head because because if a female did that to you.
Wait, so you gonna call her up the next day like, oh, dinner was great. Oh, by the way, that lineup, it's
No,
not
you gotta
usually
just
so good.
you maybe you let her see you before you go get it again.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so subtle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
You just ease her into a
Right.
ball spot versus being like, well, I actually had a ball spot right here, but the paint covered it up.
Right. So, what is your thoughts on doing it as a barber? That's a discussion you have with your clients, or you just do it on your own?
No, no. I'm not an enhancement type of barber. I'm kind of traditional, but I mean to each his own. I mean that's another service. If the customer wants it, then I mean why would you say no? Just make sure you at the top of your game doing that enhancement so you can get the residuals of other people seeing that one that same enhancement.
Right. So, pretty much, it's like upon request.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not just like, damn, this guy's fucked up right here. Let me line him up with
Or
the
you can say, hey, would you like me to?
right.
And then you can give them an example if you have some pictures of you doing an enhancement for another customer that you can show them, and then they say, oh yeah, that is nice. Yeah, I want to try that this time.
Okay.
So yeah, you can always upsell, which
And
you
one
can
of
call.
the reasons that you have that discussion is because you charge them more for that too, right?
That's a reason. Or you, my reasoning would be just to improve their look, to
Right.
make sure that they going out in the field with their player card off strong. You feel me?
Okay. Got it. Got it.
On top of getting my,
On top of getting that
yeah,
extra
that
cash.
extra little cash.
Okay. And do you cut your own hair, or do you have another person cut your hair?
I've been hopping around now, so I've just been, on Instagram with local barbers, and if I see somebody do a nice haircut, I'll go over there and try their hair out. So I'm pretty much at this point just a barber guinea pig, and then as people cut my hair, I pick up what they do,
Right.
just in case I need to apply it to my game. After they
So
give you
use your own haircut necessity as a form of networking.
right.
That's very smart as a business.
But I like to cut my own hair still, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm good.
So I mean, this could just be me, but do you ever you shave your face with the razor? You ever cut yourself with the razor when you
Which
cut
one?
your like your lineup?
Nah, nah.
Because me, every time I cut somebody else, like I shave somebody else, I'm good. But if I go to try and line myself up with a razor, I always catch myself somehow.
You
I
need to
don't
get
know.
you a barber.
Yeah, you're right. I need to stop doing it myself.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. It's too many young kids out here in the Modesto area that cut good Latin hair. I mean, it's not a lot that cut great ethnic people hair. So you got to.
I mean, I could line the next person up, but just my own.
Yeah,
I always.
it's always like that though.
Yeah. Okay, so do you ever attend like barber battles and stuff like that? As far how deep into the barber game are you as far as a business owner out in Modesto with your barbershop aspect?
Well, I'm not even. I'm a surface guy as far as the barber game goes. I haven't been going to a lot of barber battles or showcasing at a lot of barber battles and things like that, just because um, the height of the barber battle for me, a barber lifestyle for me, kind of got taken down by Corona. At
Yeah,
that time, you know, it was no ceiling on a barber game, and then when everything reopened, you have a bunch of different things, and everybody has their own barbershop, everybody has their own PPP loan. It's
right.
kind of like nobody worked together no more. So it kind of ruined the way I looked at barbering for a little while. So
So COVID strikes again.
it was, I mean, barbers keep barbers going.
Right.
I just think that yeah, COVID strikes again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's just blame it on COVID.
They hit us from so many angles with that COVID shit.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah. So, okay. So, but I mean, that's very honest of an answer. You know what I mean? Most people would lie and say, "Yeah, I go to every battle and I do all the expos and this
they
and this and that."
lying.
But
I mean, it's something that do. It's
right.
something that do. It's something that do, and they have trophies from doing that because there's nobody there.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, hey, to each their own, right? And
Right.
congratulations with your appreciation trophy. Okay, so let's get into your desire to open your own barbershop and run a business because people can be barbers, but they don't necessarily have to transition over to being a barbershop owner. Why was it so important for you to take the step to be a businessman and own something instead of going to having a job and clocking in and clocking out? Because as a business owner, there's a lot more responsibility. Why was there something? Why was that something that you're interested in doing?
Just to do it, you always have to go to the height of being the owner so you can gain that
Experience?
experience from from hands-on examples. So I mean, you can run a barbershop as a manager, but to own one is a totally big difference. Also, everything falls on you. Everything is almost a weight if it's not running smoothly, or if you don't have the team around you to have the vision that you have also. So it was important to me to get the experience, not so much important for me to be in control. I mean, there's pros and cons. It's a good thing that you can be in control of your own business, also in your own finances. So if you fail, then everything falls on you. You know that you failed, versus somebody else making you fail.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's why it was important.
And are you happy with that decision, or do you have days you wish you could just clock in and out and be an employee again?
Well, I think being an employee at a barbershop is better than being a barbershop owner. Barbershop owners, they have to be more. Well, they don't have to be. It's different barbershop owners, but the barbershop owners that I know are they don't want to be behind the chair. You know, when they start being a barbershop owner. And I think that takes away from their clientele because then they have a less effect of being in the barbershop. And really, that barbershop was built around you and how much you were there. So I'm actually getting that part of being a barbershop or a barber owner or business owner now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
People actually come to see you less when you own a barbershop because you're there less because you find other things to do because you have somebody working for you,
Right.
which makes it easier for you not to be at the barbershop. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
So that's why you think that it's better to be an employee because
yeah,
in effect, you get to do your craft more often.
right.
As a barbershop owner, you have more responsibilities. So your time is divided doing other shit that you could be doing haircuts on.
Right.
Got it. Got it. So let's jump into your other business,
Okay.
which is Quality Kicks. Go ahead and introduce that to the people.
Okay. Yeah. Quality Kicks is a shoe store located in Modesto, 1100 Carver Road, Suite Z. Quality Kicks was started during Corona, um, in the house. I just went back to what I used to do as a kid when I didn't have new shoes. I would get down there with a toothbrush and in a cloth and wipe them down and clean them up and make them look new again and wear them back to school.
You gotta
So
tuck them laces, or you get the laces all dirty.
right, right, right.
Paid in full, right?
So I was just at home and I just had, I had a nice little shoe collection. I'm like, let me just go through all my shoes and clean them.
Clean 'em up.
So I started there, and then I started uh, with one of my young customers named Julius. He was a young guy. He didn't have nothing to do at that time. So me and him had started Quality Kicks together. He was cleaning at home while he wasn't doing nothing, and I was going out finding us accounts and shoes to clean from other people.
Right.
So that's how Quality Kicks got started, and it's just evolved into a business where we, sell some of the more unique Jordans um, now, and we clean some more of the top tier shoes now for different people.
And then now you've gotten into the aspect of selling some of the exclusives that you can't find nowhere. You're able to get your hands on them, right?
Yeah, I'm able to get my hands on some exclusives, but that part of Quality Kicks is that's all flawless, man. He's a very unique individual and dealing with the shoes, and he knows how to go out and find these shoes. And then once he brings my size back, I'm just like, what you want for him? So
All right. So, like you said, Flawless. Flawless is one of your business partners.
yes, yes,
You work
yes,
with Quality Kicks.
yes,
So when it comes to the specific type of unattainable shoes, that's his forte,
right,
right? So your forte is more concentrated on upgrading somebody's shoes.
right.
So what kind of services do you perform for the upgrades?
We do regular cleanings. We can customize. We can airbrush. We can restore. Those are some of our biggest ones. Are restoring the shoes.
So
Um,
when is it? When do you know the difference? What you should do with the shoe as far as cleaning it or restoring it?
when you bring it in, we'll tell you.
No, I'm saying as somebody that does it, what are some of the differences you're looking for to determine which one you should do?
Oh, when you're looking at the shoe, when
Yeah.
you're looking at the shoe personally, like so when I looked at my shoe, you can see like color distortments. You know what I mean? Like some of the paint will rub off, or you can scratch your shoe, and then now some of the material is lifted, and you have to really be on your shoes like that. And I'm
Right.
just a meticulous person.
Right. 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 Okay. And as far as your business, how long have you guys been open?
It would be a year next month in February that we've had the business front. So we would be 2 years since we started the actual business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yep.
With the economy the way it is, it's hard to have a business for more than a year because most businesses suffer within that first year so badly that they're forced to close.
Right.
So you being able to stay open essentially 2 years is pretty commendable. Congratulations.
Yep.
So Quality Kicks, and what are you doing as far as promotions and events? Let's go ahead and start with your basketball aspect of it. I know you do some events with the youth and with basketball. Go ahead and speak on that.
Okay. With basketball, the basketball aspect, I use a lot of the Ball is Life now. Is one of the biggest internet groups. They go
Street
out
ball.
to parks and play street ball against guys. One of the guys on that team is Marcus Bell. He's a local to Modesto, so it's been some benefits of being in Modesto for me. And he actually plays for that team, so we stay in touch. He's like a like little brother to me, little big brother to me, and I always love that guy and love what he did with basketball, and then and I've always given back to the youth through basketball, running Chuck Hayes Basketball Club, which would be CHB. Everybody knows it as, and I just combined the two. So all the kids that I knew, along with Baller's Life, I brought them together multiple times in Modesto, and it's turned out to be pretty big, uh, you know, park takeovers, as they call them, basketball park takeovers.
So for these events, like you said, you get the Ball is Life crew,
Mm-hmm.
which is a national crew that goes around the states playing street ball versus various teams, right? It's
Right.
similar to AN1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Right.
So you get them, and then you get some of the local and some of the youth, and you have this big event where everybody just comes out and participates and watches a basketball game. So use that for entertainment purposes. I'm sure you bring a lot of vendors out.
Yeah.
People sell their product, showcase their product, maybe some talent, some
Yeah.
artists,
Yeah.
and you do those events. And most of the time, or if not all the time, it's a free event for the kids.
It's always been free, and I use all local community 209 people, 510 people to come out vend or perform or be involved with those events.
Okay. And those have been very successful for you.
Well, yeah, very successful.
Okay. And then as far as the promotion and stuff, I know you do like concerts, shows, events, and stuff like that. Why are you interested in doing stuff like that as well?
I just do that to be around people.
It's another form of networking for
Yeah, yeah, it's just another form of networking. I do that to be around people. I always like to create my own environment, things that I like to do, and if you show up, then I'll share that with you. But even if it only one person showed up, I would still be doing the same thing
you.
because
Right.
that's just what I want to do.
Do you find it that maybe you're involved with the music, the basketball, the barbering, stuff like that, because it's all essentially in one way or another a form of the hip hop culture and the urban culture? Then do you see how the all three of those intertwine with each other?
Well, they correlate because I'm black, and now if I was, a black guy raised around lawyers and doctors and shit, then that would be my inner circle of me doing things.
Right. Well, my point was, you see how basketball crosses over into music, and you see how music crosses over into barbering and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Was that intentional to be involved in all those three, or is it just pretty much a product of making you a product of your environment? Like that's what's around, so that's what you gravitate towards.
Right. I'm product of my environment that but I didn't stay in that environment, so it just resonates with me, and I'm able to create different avenues and put them together like that with those things being involved because that's the way I'm publicly speaking. Those are the hobbies that I'm expressing that I like to do. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So, you're just pretty much being yourself.
Exactly.
So if you're interested in it, you're gonna probably do something
Right.
with a group of your friends.
My next interest is skydiving.
Skydiving.
So I don't know if they playing Biggie Smalls or Tupac up there, but but you'll probably hear something on the radio just before you jump out of one of them goddamn planes.
So skydiving, if it don't go right, you might meet them. That's what I would love to skydive.
Then I would be real hip hop at that point.
My girl always tells me that she wouldn't do it because it's too dangerous. You can just die. And then a couple of companies, I'm not going to name any other companies, but a couple of companies out here don't have the best track record when it comes to these accidents happening. So
that's the only thing I'm scared of about that shit. I don't want no accidents to happen.
Yeah. The good thing about skydiving, in my opinion, is if something goes wrong, you're done. Okay, so I can live with that, or I can accept that. But if you're bungee jumping and something goes wrong, you can end up with, you know what I mean?
Hella broken bones,
yeah, like,
and still be alive.
Yes, you know what I mean. Like it could go.
So you would rather be dead all the way, knowing that you did something, versus halfway dead. If
it's not necessarily that, it's just that I look at these like army veterans with one leg, and I look at these people that are blind, and I look at people that get paralyzed and stuff like that, and I see the strength that they have to be better, and I'm not sure that I would be as motivated. I'd probably want to give up.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Right.
It takes a lot for you to be that knocked down and to keep going. And I admire those people that can do that. I'm just not sure that I would be as enthusiastic to wake up in the morning with one fucking leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just being honest.
But you woke up.
Yes, I do understand that. And I'm thinking that hopefully in the event of anything like that, I would be positive. I would hope so. But that's the kind of stuff that goes through my mind.
Right,
so I'm like,
right,
maybe
right.
I shouldn't bungee jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll skydive.
Yeah, because it'll just be.
I would never. See. I think that is what it is with me. I would never bungee jump.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can come this close to killing yourself, and then you go right back. That. I mean, just the shock might kill me alone. But like I mean, when you skydive, you got somebody tied to your back. They have multiple parachutes. If they don't work, then you have one. I mean, you have 4 chances to live.
I like my chances with 4.
Just one more. Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Okay, so yeah. So any other adventurous things that you think you might want to try one day? All right, moving along.
No. Yeah, I got one. What? Archery.
Oh, that's not adventurous.
Yeah, no, going in the woods and
Yeah, but you can't get killed doing archery unless you mean like an archery tournament where they got one and you got one, or
they do that.
No. Just say like, yeah, they call it the
Yeah,
Hunger
I
Games.
mean, I mean, just on some hobby type stuff. I mean, skydiving would be a hobby, but
Okay.
yeah, that would be the death
What's
toll would be
something
high.
about you that people would never guess? Like for instance, like maybe you eat pizza backwards, or you drive with both feet, or you know what I mean. Like, what is there anything about you that is unique that people would not be able to guess?
Nah, I don't do no.
You're
I'm
just
just
a ordinary person.
yeah, just an
Okay,
ordinary guy,
cool.
man.
Got it. Got it. All right. So I understand you coach high school basketball.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
cool,
yes.
cool. As you smoke your blunt. Tell us about
I'm
coaching
off
high.
duty.
Tell us about coaching high school basketball and why that's important to you.
Um, Coaching high school basketball is important to me because I took a lot from my coaches, in my years growing up, and I want kids to take a lot from me as they grow up.
So because you had good people in your life, as far as basketball goes, you want to be one of those people for these kids, so that way they can have a positive influence just like you did growing up.
Well, a lot of my coaches didn't have a positive. I had some crazy fucking coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they was from Oakland too, so yeah. That was a crazy thing. I want to give these kids the aspect of me that they're not going to see in their lives. Um, you know, the way I think, the way I am is, basically built for survival
Okay.
from the times that I grew up. These kids now, have a way easier time with life because their parents probably had it hard, which makes it easy for them. So I want to give them that raw and unique um, urbanness that they're not going to see in the area that I'm in, and it kind of gets them geared for life and what's going to be in the real world. It's kind of like if you don't show up for practice, it's like if you don't show up for work. I mean, no call, no show, you're fired.
Right.
No call, no show to practice, you don't play. So it's not a lot of coaches that do that out here where I am. It's just kind of like the talent isn't as high as it is, and the survival isn't as high as it is in inner cities.
Right.
So they kind of give in to the kids and what they want to do, kind of like giving them an option, and that's why I love coaching at this point because I'm really gearing these young men to be men. They still have their fathers and their mothers, that are doing their parental job, but you have to have a village to take care of kids, and I think I'm doing my job by the things that I'm doing in my community right now.
That's dope. That's dope. So what kind of coach are you? You the cool coach? You the tough? Are you a Nick Saban? Are you a fun coach? What are you? Are you strict? If they're late, do they run? What kind of coach is Cam?
Uh, I think I'm more Bobby Knight.
So
You
you
would
throwing chairs?
you would never catch me being nice to my players during the game.
Okay.
But after that game, I'm the nicest person to my players.
Take us through a typical practice. All right. So today's practice at 5 o'clock. You walk in the gym, and then boom. What's the? Give us a rundown.
Automatic stretch. As soon as we walk in the gym, everybody's getting ready. We on the baseline. We stretching. We got a couple drills that we go through.
Okay.
We have some competition drills that we go through.
Okay.
Then we get into our shooting with both hands, both sides. Then we have defensive drills, rebounding drills, free throws, water.
Okay. Scrimmage.
Maybe some open run, but usually we stick into our plays, press breaks, doing some baseline plays. And then if we have time, we'll do some open scrimmages.
And then what do you end it with?
We always end it with a break on family.
Okay. But when I was in basketball a long, long time ago, we had to run a lot at the end of practice.
Oh, did you? Well,
so
I kind of figure if a lot of coaches make the mistake of using running as a punishment, and I tell my kids, when they make mistakes in practice, that's fine, because we want to limit those mistakes in games because that can cost us. So, in practice, if you're using running as a punishment, then you're already messing up your team's mind when you should be using it as a conditioning. When they make those mistakes in practice, instead of saying, hey, everybody on the line, you have to run this because of this, it's just everybody on the line. Right. I'm not even explaining myself, you know what I mean?
And that's why you're Coach Cam and I'm not. Right. All right, cool. Anything you want to let your supporters know about you before we head out?
Thank you for always supporting me, to my supporters and people that do love me and view me as somebody that is a stand-up person and a person of example to other young men and maybe young ladies too. I got a bunch of daughters, so I always want to be an example at all times of a growing man and a man that's in transition to be a better man. So you can always better yourself. Thank you to Livewire and especially Jay Stalin for giving me the opportunity to come over to Livewire and manage his shop for the 3 years that I was here, because I think that situation made me even more of a leader now, because it made me go out and become a business owner, and it made me remove the ceiling that I thought I had and go to another atmosphere with the shit I'm trying to do. So thank you to the people that still involved with me and that keep me around like I keep them around.
Awesome. You ready for this smoke challenge?
Here we go with this shit.
You ready? It's a tradition. It's a Mars Radio tradition. And you ready?
This shit's some crazy shit, man. Give me a chance, god damn it.
We gonna give you a chance, all right.
I seen Stu do this challenge, and Stu act like he was eating the goddamn smoke. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit here for about 2 hours before I drive. Make sure you follow the laws when you're dealing with 420. Nigga.
You good? You good?
I ain't got the luck.
You
What's that?
You ain't struggling, is you? Come on, it's Mars Radio, bro. This is what we do.
This shit.
Give a shout out to your people. Come on.
Shout out to Mars Radio, bro. This shit burning my eyes, my nigga. This is a safety precaution. If something happened to my eyes like it did before, I'm gonna sue your ass. If you come up here, make sure y'all do this weed challenge. This shit fire.
You almost done, bro. You good. All right. Mars Radio, Mr. Picasso.
Yes, sir.
And we out.
All right, man.